Welcome to JPTV. We're your anchors. I'm Peter Downing.
And I'm Rosie Ruffin. Today we will be covering exciting spring break plans, COVID-19 shutdown anniversary, sports, and more.
But first up, the coronaversary. As we all know, during spring break last year, many plans were changed and even canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic that arose. As we approach the anniversary of the pandemic, we have broadcasting students Tori Johnson and Hayden Mathis reflecting on their spring break when it all started 1 year ago.
As we approach a year of the coronaversary, when coronavirus actually started, Hayden Mathis and I are looking back on our spring break plans from last year and how they got canceled. So last year, I was in Disney World, and I had been there for 3 days when we got the notification that we were going to have to clear out and lose the last 3 days of being in the park. And so I remember packing up all of the bags, and at the very last night, we walked out of the park in Epcot, and everyone was waving goodbye, and everyone was crying, and I didn't really know why because we didn't know how big of a deal coronavirus would end up being. But Disney World ended up closing for months, and they haven't closed but for longer than a day, I think since maybe 9/11 or Hurricane Katrina. And so this was a really big deal for them. But I remember how sad we were that we lost those last few days, but you know, it was what it was, and we ended up being safe, and who knew that we were to be settled in the house for the next few months in quarantine, but here we are today, and now we'll hear from Hayden Mathis.
So I remember last year during spring break, me and my family, we were in Memphis, Tennessee, at the zoo there celebrating my sister's birthday. And then all of a sudden, everyone just kind of started panicking and leaving the zoo, and we really didn't know why. Well, we pulled out our phones, and it said that Trump issued like the national state of emergency. And everyone was just panic buying, going to like the nearest Walmart and Kroger and everything, trying to buy water bottles, toilet paper, because everyone was panicking, everything was shutting down, and nobody really knew what was going on. And so we were like out of town, and we were like, well, should we go buy everything we can? Do we have to go home tomorrow? Like, what's going on? So we just kind of came home when we were quarantined for the next month, and that's just kind of how it was for the first little bit until everything started to open up and be somewhat normal again.
We have some good news. After almost exactly a year since last spring break was ruined because of all of our last semester, we are slowly getting back into normal routine. The CDC is fully saying that people who are vaccinated can gather without needing a mask. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said, with more and more people vaccinated each day, we are starting to turn a corner. The CDC says that a person that has been vaccinated for over 2 weeks is considered fully vaccinated. Since January, cases have dropped from 300,000 cases to only 40,000 cases nationwide. This is the lowest the daily news cases have been since September.
I'm so sorry.
Governor Tate Reeves also took away the mask mandate for the state and left it up to private businesses to decide. We've come a long way since last spring break, and things are looking good.
Oh my God. I can't read it.
Spring break is less than a week away.
So Rosie went around and asked some students their plans for the spring break.
Where are you going for spring break?
Hawaii.
Who are you going with?
My family.
How long have you had these plans?
Around a year.
Where are you going for spring break?
Dallas, Texas.
What are you doing there?
Seeing my parents.
How long are you gonna go?
A week.
Are y'all doing anything fun?
I don't know.
Where are you going for spring break?
Nowhere.
What are you planning on doing?
Chilling.
Gonna watch TV or anything?
Probably just go hang out with some friends.
Elizabeth, where are you going for spring break?
I'm going to the beach with First Pres Church. So
How long are y'all going?
I think we're going for like 4 days. We leave on Tuesday, like after spring break starts. So
Florida is a popular destination for most prep students. It's important for the students traveling there to be informed of their COVID guidelines. The Florida Department of Health advised visitors to wear a face covering if social distancing is not possible and to avoid crowded places and close-setting contacts. Although Florida does not require a face covering for the general public, masks might be required in the city or town you visit. If you are caught without a mask, you cannot be fined or penalized, as local governments are barred from assessing fines and penalties for non-compliance. Rosemary Beach is a popular destination and does not have a mask mandate, but they do ask their visitors to be discretionary. Seaside, another popular city in Florida, has a mask mandate and requires masks, especially in stores. Here's a short clip from News 13 of Seaside, Florida, describing the situation.
News 13's Alexia Teropoulos. It went to 30A and found some communities have their own mask mandate in place.
Signs like this one are lining 38. It says to wear a mask to protect yourself as well as others. That is rules for their own mask ordinance that they have put into place.
As we approach 1 year of the quarantine, let's reflect on all the trends that came to be through social media such as TikTok, especially with everyone being on lockdown in their homes. Due to boredom, everyone was in search of a new show to binge, a new activity to try, or a new recipe to make. Two of the TV shows that gained increasing popularity included the Netflix series Tiger King and Outer Banks. Since Outer Banks focused on a group of teenagers, many trends grew out of the show, such as their beachy clothing and hairstyles. Other clothing styles that gained popularity was tie-dyeing, which was also a fun activity. Another activity that was hair dyeing, especially pink hair. Board games, gaming equipment were also a very hot product during this time. Many people also found themselves buying color LED changing lights, the unofficial TikTok lights, because it seemed that just about everybody on the app had them. Baking dominated the start of quarantine. Popular recipes including banana bread, whipped coffee, pancake cereal, baked oats, and many more. Many also took this time for a lot of self-care. For example, using face masks. Matt went around the school and asked students what their favorite quarantine trends were.
What was your favorite trend during the quarantine?
I really like making whipped coffee.
And what was your favorite milk?
Almond milk.
Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome.
All right, so Coach Corinne, what was your favorite trend during the quarantine?
I got to spend a lot of time with my family, throwing bullpens, working at home, hitting at home. A lot of times that we really don't get to have normally, so that was good.
And do you miss me being in your class?
I do. You're an awesome kid.
All right, so I'm here with Callie. And Callie, what was your favorite trend during the quarantine?
I think whipped coffee is pretty fun to make.
So what was your favorite milk to use in your whipped coffee?
Almond milk.
So I'm here with Deambra. And Deambra, what was your favorite trend during the quarantine?
Making TikToks.
All right, so I'm here with Asa. And Asa, what was your favorite trend during the quarantine?
The what?
Can you show us the dance? Oh, wee! All right, so I'm here with the big three. And what was y'all's favorite trend during the quarantine?
I dyed my hair
What color?
pink.
Going on long walks around Eastover. Tanning.
Thank you, the big three. All right, so I'm here with Robert. And Robert, what was your favorite trend during the quarantine?
Doing TikTok dance with my dog.
What was your favorite TikTok dance?
The Renegade.
Okay, I like it.
We will be right back with sports after this short commercial break.
Discover your voice.
Discover your creativity.
Discover your opportunity.
And your dream.
Discover your vision.
Your vibe.
Your passion. And your moment to shine.
Join Applause this school year as the Fine Arts program at Jackson Prep leaves a lifelong impression on students' hearts and minds. We would love to grow this legacy with your support.
Boys and girls basketball sadly lost out this past Saturday to end their season. Leak Academy proved to be too much for the Lady Patriots to overcome starting the fourth quarter with a 9-0 run. The guys had a record of 15-13. They had a good run but sadly came up short at the end against Hartfield in the last 10 minutes of the game. The track team also has a meet tomorrow at JA. Saturday, the baseball team had a big win over Lewisburg 4-3 with Riley Maddox throwing a complete game with 10 strikeouts. Eli Birch led the way for the Patriots going 2 for 3 and lost 3 for 2 against DeSoto Central. Baseball had a game this past Monday night against Tri-County with the ending score being 14-1. Raleigh led the way to go 3 for 3 with 2 home runs, and Jagger Mooneyham started the game and earned the win for the Patriots. They play tonight against Simpson Academy and Wednesday at Starkville High School. They also play Thursday night against Canton Academy. They travel to the Gulf Coast during spring break to play Monday against D'Iberville and Tuesday against West Harrison and Picayune. Now we're going to come back for a commercial break.
Have you ever wondered where Prep Patriots get their gear? Well, we have the solution, the Prep Patriot Shop. There are many options ranging from t-shirts, sweatshirts, socks, and even fun accessories. They also have hand sanitizer and face masks to keep everyone safe from COVID. The Prep Patriot Shop, open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Fridays at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and at home football game nights at 5:30 to 7. Hope to see you soon, and go Prep.
And now in Oregon, a new proposal called Move Oregon's Borders, or Greater Idaho, will be on the ballot in 5 rural counties this May. The proposal, if passed, will change the county's statehood from Oregon to Idaho. Tired of living in a blue state, the residents of the rural counties want to reinstate conservative policies and join Idaho, a blue-red state. It's a red state. The counties voting on the proposal are Baker, Grant, Lake, Lemuel, and Sherman. Mr. Carter, an author of the proposal, said, "We are not trying to change a single thing with Idaho. We just want to come alongside them and maintain the values." However, even if all rural counties vote yes on the movement, the ballot will still require agreement of the 3 state legislators and Congress. The Hendersons of Melford, Oregon, purchased a building in downtown Melford last year as the headquarters for the Greater Idaho Movement. KOBI5 in Oregon reported on the same story and asked the Hendersons what they had to say on the matter.
When you chip away and don't stand up for your freedoms, you'll lose your freedoms. The majority of the state is rural, but we're dictated by the concentration of people that don't share our same ideas on how to spend our tax money.
Cost of living has gone so high in Oregon, and it seems like the rural areas just never get their voices heard. So we thought we'd join in with a state like Idaho, which is also one of the least expensive states to live in.
Through the two's dedication and to the movement and help from many others, the counties will finally be able to vote on the proposal after almost a year of collecting signatures.
Last night, our show choir groups were able to perform one more time at the Jackson Prep campus for the 2021 season. Glitz and Revion performed as well as senior solos. Glitz performed to their show, followed by senior solos from Sarah Foster Dryden, Dylan Freemill, Jake Head, and Bradley Stafford, and a senior performance to remember the shows from previous years. Then Revion performed their show, which included a solo featured with our very own Tori Johnson. It was followed by a performance of How Do We Say Goodbye, dedicated to all the seniors. After all these performances, Mr. Sweat thanked the seniors and their dedication to the season and willingness to keep going through all the hardships of their show choir groups have faced this year. Tomorrow, Revion will head to Orlando, Florida to perform at Universal Studios. Soon they will perform one last time for the Madison Central competition. This season has been rough, but our show choir teams have given it their all.
And that's all for us here at JPTV. We'll join you back next week at this same time. Except it won't be.